Perhaps the most iconic villain in Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery is the Cheetah. One of the villains in the upcoming movie Wonder Woman 1984, Barbara Ann Minerva, aka the Cheetah, has proven time and again to be Diana's equal in battle. What some people may not know is that there have actually been 3 villains to bear the name Cheetah. Well, 4 to tell the truth, but we don't really talk about him. Today we are going to look at arguably the 2 most important women to don the mantle of the Cheetah. The first one from the golden and silver age of comics, Priscilla Rich, and the current Cheetah, and the one to be featured in Wonder Woman 1984, Barbara Ann Minerva. Why are we looking at only these 2? Because those are the only 2 that LEGO has made minifigures of. Priscilla Rich made her debut as Cheetah in 1943 in Wonder Woman issue 6. Born a debutante of aristocratic upbringing in Washington, D.C., Priscilla had a massive inferiority complex and suffered from inferior feelings of self-worth. After being upstaged by Wonder Woman at a charity event, Priscilla retreated to her room and collapsed to the floor in tears. When she opens her eyes and gazes into her makeup mirror, she sees the image of a woman dressed as a cheetah. "Don't you know me?" the reflection asked. "I am the real you, a treacherous and relentless hunter." And thus the cheetah was born. Priscilla suffers from a split personality, with the cheetah becoming a fully fledged separate personality of her own. As the cheetah, Priscilla would be a thorn in Wonder Woman's side for years, and she would eventually find her way to the home of the Amazons, Paradise Island. While there, Cheetah crept into Queen Hippolyta's room, stole her magical girdle which empowered her with great strength, and kidnapped the Amazonian queen. Wonder Woman soon tracked down Cheetah and confronted her. Even with the enhanced power of the Queen's magic girdle, Wonder Woman was able to defeat Cheetah and rescue her mother. After being defeated, the personality of Priscilla came to the front and she confessed to having dual personalities. Wonder Woman took Priscilla to a place known as Reform Island, where she received the help that she needed, and over time she was able to successfully suppress the personality of the Cheetah, becoming a contributing member of society, and even becoming an occasional ally of Wonder Woman. Priscilla's LEGO minifigure came to us in the recent DC Comics blind bags that came out at the beginning of the year. This minifigure is so pulp that it looks like it walked right off the page of a Golden Age comic. Priscilla had made her cheetah costume from a cheetah skin rug, and the spotted printing of this minifigure captures the look of the original villain superbly, from the bright yellow color to the spotted pattern on her suit and even the claws on her toes. Priscilla, as the cheetah, wore a cap made from the cheetah skin rug's head, and her headpiece sports a pair of cheetah ears just as her comic book counterpart did. Around back she has a spotted tail, and for an accessory she comes with a money bag. I wish they would have come up with something to pack in with her other than this, because I feel like this portrays her as just something like a knockoff Catwoman, when Priscilla was so much more than a cat burglar. I would have rather they packed in those claw pieces that come with Wolverine or the Court of Owls, because Cheetah has often been seen baring her claws when confronting Wonder Woman. This version of Cheetah has 2 face portraits. The primary one you can see here is a bit of a cocky smirk, and maybe this is more in line with Priscilla herself, but it was something that we rarely saw when she was the Cheetah. For that, we have this, her snarling battle face, and for me, this is more of an apt look for the Golden Age Cheetah. In 1985, DC Comics had one of the largest comic crossover events for the age, an event that would reset the DC multiverse continuity and, for better or worse, begin DC's habit of resetting the continuity for what seems like every 5 years. This was Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was the end of the Bronze Age of comic books and the beginning of the Modern Age, and the Modern Age deserved a modern Cheetah. Enter Barbara Ann Minerva. Now, I love DC Comics. In fact, I prefer them over Marvel. However, as I've said before, DC's continuity is a bit of a hot mess. Within the Modern Age of comics, there have been the Post-Crisis, New 52, Rebirth, and DC Universe eras of continuity, all with their own sets of origins. What most of Barbara Minerva's origins agree on is that she is an English archaeologist that specializes in Greek culture and has an interest in the Amazons. In one continuity, she wanted Wonder Woman's lasso of truth to add to her collection of antiquities, while in another, she was just out to prove the Amazons existed prior to Wonder Woman entering the world. Sometime after her initial encounter with Diana, an animosity built up towards the Amazonian princess, and Barbara then entered into a deal with the nature god named Cartaga, who turned her into the Cheetah. Instead of wearing a costume as Priscilla Rich did, Barbara's transformation into the Beast Woman was a complete physical change that granted her powerful abilities, making her as strong as a demigod and being more than a match for Wonder Woman. While the specifics of her power set, as well as how strong she is, has varied from timeline to timeline, some of her typical powers include razor-sharp claws and teeth, super strength, super speed and agility, sometimes putting her on par with the Flash, enhanced senses, enhanced resistance to damage, making her tough enough to tank punches from Superman, and when Barbara's let her animal side take over, she can enter into a berserker rage. In many previous incarnations of the Cheetah is her ability to transform from human to Cheetah form, but in the newest timeline, I believe the form of the Cheetah is a curse, and she must remain in that form constantly. One of the more interesting additions to the Cheetah in the newest timeline is her ability to infect others with the Cheetah curse with her bite like a werewolf, giving them a Cheetah appearance and abilities. This minifig of the Cheetah came from the Lex Luthor Takedown Mech set from 2018 and represents her original classic look. With a darker orange body tone than the original version of the Cheetah, she still sports a spotted pattern, but it's not as prevalent as with the other minifig. The entire deco of this minifig is much darker and much more simplistic than the Priscilla Rich minifigure. Barbara's Cheetah persona isn't a costume, it's her body, so she wears clothing, a ripped midriff tank top and a pair of black, I'm presuming they're supposed to be leather, pants. Interestingly, her tail, unlike Priscilla's, is not spotted. Her hairpiece is one that I've seen before and is one of my favorites that LEGO puts out. In auburn color, it's a little lighter than her comic book self, but it works for this figure. For her face portraits, Barbara has two that are unmistakably evil. Her main portrait is a wicked smile bearing fangs that to me just says, I'm gonna bite you, and possibly infect you with a form of lycanthropy that makes you a MyWare Cheetah minion. Her second portrait is a snarling battle face, one that looks angry and in her berserker state. For accessories, Barbara comes with a spear, something that even though she doesn't use much now, she did use in her earlier stories. Both of these minifigs are great representations of their versions of the Cheetah, and we have a third one coming down the line with the Wonder Woman vs. Cheetah LEGO set that was released for Wonder Woman 1984. For me, my favorite one is the Barbara Minerva incarnation. It's the Cheetah I grew up with, the one I'm most familiar with, and the one that presents the largest threat to Diana. To be honest, everything I talked about with Priscilla Rich was all research-based. I've had no exposure to Priscilla as the Cheetah, with the exception of Challenge of the Super Friends.
What you've spotted is the real trap.
I hope you enjoyed our look at the Cheetah minifigures, and if you didn't enjoy it, well, thank you for watching to the end. We have one more week for Wonder May and a lot to get through, so I hope you come back and join us while we're in the home stretch. If you want to learn more about Cheetah in any incarnation, I have a link to her pages in the description below. Play well, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.